Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 56, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Ravens and the Falcons coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the champions from the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And, Charles, you look at the Ravens, champions of the AFC. Remember, they won Super Bowl 47 back in February of 2013. But they've been one of the best teams in the NFL the last decade or so, and now they look to cap off a tremendous season.
And it started pretty quickly for them because you have to remember, Ravens history starts in 1996 when the Browns moved from Cleveland and became an entirely new franchise known as the Baltimore Ravens. And since then, they've won the Super Bowl twice. Number 47 you mentioned, and also number 35 in Tampa over the Giants. This is a proud franchise looking to add their third Super Bowl trophy.
Meanwhile, it wasn't too long ago that the Atlanta Falcons were in the Super Bowl, and that's one that Falcon fans want to forget, 2017 Super Bowl 51. But now they're back in the big game for the third time in franchise history.
And there's no way we can get to this game without remembering a few of those details of that last Super Bowl appearance. They were up 28-3. Ended up losing in overtime to New England. Give them a ton of credit for putting that game behind them, getting back to the Super Bowl so soon. That shows a lot of character for this franchise.
And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. And that is something that we just saw there that you obviously have to be prepared for when you try to defend Lamar Jackson. That likely will not be the last time that we see him take off.
I love your language there, partner. You have to be prepared for it, and you work at it. But I don't care how much you prepare, it is hard as heck to execute against Lamar Jackson. Great vision, great speed, tenacity, runs through tackles, makes people miss. It's always a long game when you're trying to corral Lamar Jackson. And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Jackson. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in the days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win.
A first down throw coming for Vick. And that's incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw, Vick. Into the hands of Rison. That's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Handoff comes to Anderson. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Vick. He's got White here. And shedding his way forward. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll run on first down. Anderson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Vick with the incompletion on first down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. Now a give running left with Anderson. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Vick now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Falcons are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Second and 6. Throwing is Jackson. That's complete to Bolden. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now Lewis here on 1st down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Here's Jackson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Play action. Now Jackson. Flush. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They start the drive with Anderson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now here's Vick. Throw left side complete. That's Gonzalez. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Vick. That's caught by Rison. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. .40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. Caught right side. It's Lewis. Uses the stiff arm. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run with Lewis out of the gun. Powers through him. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. This is Lewis. And he gets it down to the 32.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Now he's flushed out left, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And now Jackson will look to throw it.
That's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
Come on, fellas.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
From the gun, Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Mason.
And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Vick's throw into the hands of Gonzalez here. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Over the middle, complete. That's Gonzalez. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Let's go, baby. That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Vick operating on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Gonzalez. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 38, Vick. He finds his man, complete. That's Gonzalez. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. From the gun, Vick. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And they'll have 50 seconds to work with, so that really plenty of time to try to put something together. Now Jackson on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Jackson. Complete here to the right to Bolden. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Ravens. And it's been the passing game that's gotten them to where they are, 2 quarters away from a possible Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they too found some success throwing the football, but I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they trail here in this Super Bowl, but fortunately for them, Charles, very much still within striking range.
Yeah, things didn't go exactly the way they planned in the first half. To me, they appeared to be a little bit tight, made a few errors they normally wouldn't. But, of course, this is the Super Bowl, so things get a little bit heightened in that regard. But I think they have to feel a little fortunate. They're only down what they are here starting the third quarter.
First down, Vick. Buying time to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
From the 27, Vick. He finds his man, complete. That's Gonzalez. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Vick readies to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Gonzalez. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On first down, Anderson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Vick to throw it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Vick will look to throw on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Vick with the incompletion on first down, and now that leads to 2nd and 10. Throwing, Vick. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. To throw, Vick. Forced out to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field, so he's looking for anyone to throw the football to, but he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it, but he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will tie things at 17 all. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start by running the option to the right. Skirts by him at the 35. Fights through, and now a crease.
Missed.
He will not go down. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson, what more can we say at this point? He is a living, breathing highlight reel. And go ahead and tack on that last play to the list of big ones by number 8.
And what was impressive to me is not just how much he wanted it, but how he fashioned it. I mean, he was shedding tacklers left and right, evading tacklers left and right. And when you think about the energy it takes to ward guys off, that's really impressive. He still managed to keep his balance and turn this into a fantastic run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run on first down. Anderson, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
6 yards left on second down.
Again, Anderson. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Vick. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He finds Bolden, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On first down, Lewis. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They try again with Lewis. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a fourth down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A first down throw coming for Vick. He finds his man, complete. That's Gonzalez. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Working out of the gun, Michael Vick.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off right around the 43. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 14. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points, and they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10.
Back to it after the pick six. Vick eluding the pressure right. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Vick. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. Vick now. Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.
Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another 1st, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
There's a nice move, and he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Vick now from the 50. He's got his man. It's White. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand the field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now here's Vick.
That's caught by Rising.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Vick to the air again. On the left side, a catch by White. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On second down now, it's Anderson. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
On 3rd and 1, here's Vick. And he's got it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run for it with Anderson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On 2nd and goal, Vick. On the move to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Looking to throw. Vick. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts in the middle of the field. That should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Read it well, and it's picked.
And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts an end to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner, work with me here because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again, well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
They'll start off with a give to Lewis. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down on the scoreboard. A little over a minute and a half remaining. They've come so far this year, but they need 2 quick scores late in this Super Bowl. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Gonzalez. But he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play call because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Vick.
Into the hands of Rison. That's complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Now, they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? First down now, but that clock rolling. From the gun, Vick.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
On second down, Anderson pushing through the contact. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line.
72 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Vick. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Back to throw. Vick. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Coup for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And it's all over. Just one is left standing, and that one is the Baltimore Ravens, your Super Bowl champions. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.